slowness to change usually means fear of the new. That was said by the American businessman Philip Crosby, and I think that it's so true when it comes to breakups, when it comes to relationships and moving past an ex. As someone who has had exes, as someone who has gone through a few really tough breakups, I've had to learn how to move on from the old and on to the new. And for a lot of men, this is actually what stops us from growing and what holds us back when we create new relationships. I wanted to make this training because I work with guys who have come out of relationships, who have had to let go of an ex, who have gone through the pain of that and are afraid about what this means for their future. They're afraid of what this means about being single. Can I attract more women? Can I meet more girls? Can I build the kind of dating life that I want? Because I had this woman that I got her, I won, I was in the relationship, and then for whatever reason, either she broke up with me or I broke up with her. Oftentimes it's the girl breaking up, though. I think we all know that. She left me. Now I feel that void. I feel that absence. What do I do? How do I recover? How do I move on? How do I get past my ex? So I want to explain this to you in this training, how you can move past or get over your ex-girlfriend and get over that loss and actually move forward into creating a life of abundance. And the first thing you have to understand is that beyond the initial pain of loss, the reason that you can't get over your ex is because your identity is wrapped up in having her and what having her means about you. This is almost always the reason why. There is this initial pain of loss, which makes sense. That happens. That's natural, which is, this person that I spent time with for years of my life or months of my life that I got very close to. I had her, we loved each other, and now, boom, that's ripped away. So there's that pain of loss. That makes sense. Change is painful. We don't have any question about that. But then what happens beyond that? Where do we get into the moving forward, into the attracting more high quality women, into the growing as a man, into the living your best life? Where does that happen? Where does that come from? Well, it's because your identity becomes wrapped up in her. So your identity is, I am the guy who is with this girl, and if I'm not with her, then who am I? If I'm not with this woman, who am I? Who have I become? What about me? What will happen to me if I'm not with this woman? And that's where we have to go into the 3 steps, or I should say the 4 steps to moving past a breakup, to moving past your ex, and to creating the kind of life that you want. So step number 1 to moving past your ex is to stop fighting. You've got to stop fighting the resistance of loss. And this is a principle that I learned in dating overall, beyond just moving past an ex. I learned this when it came to success with women and to attracting women into my life. I had to learn that at a certain point, I had to stop fighting discomfort. A lot of us make this mistake as men because we hate discomfort and we hate the not knowing and we hate things not being perfect and lining up in the right way. We tend to go into this space of fighting. So it's because things aren't perfect and something is wrong, something must be wrong with me and I have to solve that, which means we fight against it and we've had this internal struggle. But instead of fighting, you can accept your lowest point. And this is what helped me with my ex. I remember specifically the day when I transcended the attachment of needing a relationship. Again, I have a relationship and it's beautiful and amazing, but I also am very aware that I'm not attached to that relationship as an indicator of who I am as a person. So what happened was I was with my ex and we ended up breaking up. I broke up with her, but I was still very sad though. I was crying. I broke up with her because I felt like I had more work to do when it came to meeting women, when it came to investing time in my personal growth. That's why we broke up. So we broke up and it was completely unexpected. I was kind of bored in the relationship and it just happened, but I really cared about this person. We were very close. And what happened was the day that I broke up with her, I actually went out the next night and I was very depressed. I was still kind of a bit teary-eyed. I didn't feel good. I had lost this person that I thought I was going to be super close to for a very long time. We had been dating for a year then at that point, and we had broken up. And what happened was I went out the next night and I hooked up with one of the most beautiful women I had ever hooked up with in my life, but possibly at the time actually had ever hooked up with in total. But the reason I hooked up with her was because I was in this low state. I was in this depressed state where I didn't feel good, but instead of fighting that state, I communicated with that woman that I ended up hooking up with, and I communicated with her from a place of acceptance, from a place of, this is my reality, this is the space that I'm in, I'm accepting this space that I'm in, this is who I am, this is what I'm dealing with, and that's okay, I don't need to fight it. How powerful is that? What a lot of men do is the opposite. They say, I don't feel good. I'm in this depressed space. I'm in this space where things feel chaotic, things feel miserable. And because I'm in this space, something has to change, something's wrong, I shouldn't feel this way. But what I did is I went out the next night after this breakup and I felt terrible and I just shared that. I said, oh yeah, I had a breakup. It was horrible. I feel like shit. And I wore that on my sleeve and I didn't fight it. So because I stopped fighting, I was able to become aware of my most attractive self. in that negative space. Again, it's not like when you feel perfect, you're more attractive. In fact, you're as attractive as you can be when you don't feel good. So chasing this feeling of perfection, this feeling of everything is good, I feel great, doesn't serve you actually. In a negative state, in a negative space, when you don't feel like you're enough, when you don't feel good, that's actually when you can transcend. That's actually when you can realize and say, I am enough, I am good enough. But from this space, I can attract women, I can bring women into my life, I can move past my ex. Step number 2, after you go to a space of acceptance and stop fighting, is replace and reframe. So what you do is you replace sitting with action. A lot of times when people go through stress or they go through a breakup or they go through a semi-traumatic event like this, what they'll do is they'll stop taking action, or they won't take any action. They'll say, because I feel bad, I can't take action. You know, I was going through a breakup, man, and I'm still getting over that. I hate when I hear that. When I hear like I'm getting over something, I mean, great, brother, get over it, but take action while getting over it. Like, you should take action in the space of getting over it, because that's how you grow the most, right? So replace the sitting with action. Action is not just for results. Action is a reality shift. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates motion, and motion creates results. I always say this to my clients. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates motion, and motion creates results, right? So you take action, you're going to get momentum in your dating life, in your life, how you interact with people. You're going to be doing things. When you start doing things and putting yourself out there, creating lifestyle momentum, you're going to create motion, which means numbers are going to be going through your phone. You're going to be talking to new women. You're going to be interacting with new women that are going to be better than your ex. That is going to happen. And then that motion creates results. So those numbers are going to convert into dates. The dates are going to convert into intimacy. The intimacy is going to convert into relationships. Doesn't mean a long-term monogamous relationship, but still a relationship. You see a girl a couple times, you and her are, dating, right? So you have girls in your life, but you have to start taking action. You have to replace the sitting with action. You have to reframe the sadness into action. Step number 3 is to acquire. Acquire what? You start to make new connections and give yourself placement in the dating marketplace. So instead of just sitting back and just taking action, you also start to get new connections and you start to meet new women and new people. So this, I'm telling you, what you can do is right after you break up with a girl, like, I'm not kidding with you. Let's say you get into a year relationship, or you're dealing with this right now by the fact you're watching this video. You've been in this relationship that's 6 months, 2 years, 3 years. It feels like your world's coming down. It feels like everything sucks. What you do is you stop fighting it and you say, I'm going to go out and take action while feeling miserable. So I'm going to go to a bar or a club, or I'm going to go out and say hi to a girl on the street, or I'm going to hop on Tinder. I'm going to hop on Tinder and go on a date and tell her, hey, yeah, I don't feel great because I had a breakup, but instead of sitting at home, I'm going to put myself out there. Or you go out with a friend of yours and you go to a bar and socialize. You say, hey, I'm going to go out and talk to 2 women, 3 women tonight. I'm going to say, hey, how's your night going? Or who are you? Where the fuck do you come from? Hey, I fuck with your vibe. Like, whatever line you want to use to start a conversation. You start with that. Then you acquire. So you start to make new connections. Hey, we should go out at some point and grab wine. Hey, we should go do something together. I want to see you again. How down are you for that, right? You start to actively make new connections and you give yourself a placement in the dating marketplace. What this will do is it'll reshape your brain. So instead of you sitting at home and accepting, I feel like shit, instead you take that feeling and you go out into the world and you say, where am I in the dating marketplace? Because what happens for most men, when you get into a relationship, you lose your placement in the dating marketplace. You lose your placement. You still have a placement, but you don't pay attention to it because you're happy getting laid from one source, right? Whereas I'll give an example. In my relationship right now, I'm very aware of where I'm at in the dating marketplace because I still go out. I don't not talk to women. I go out quite regularly and talk to girls, either with my partner, we do that together, or I'll go out with friends, like my close friends, people that are in my life that I'm homies with, or I'll go out by myself and I'll communicate with women. So I'm very aware of my placement in the dating marketplace. When I travel, I meet girls. So I know these are the kind of girls that I'm hooking up with. These are the kind of girls that are attracted to me. I'm able to get this kind of girl generally. Girls like me. Most guys in a relationship don't do this, which makes sense because they haven't set their relationship up that way. Most guys in a relationship, it's like me and my girl, and I'm out of the dating marketplace. I'm getting laid with this person. I have that need fulfilled. We're bonding, that's it, which is super cool. And I think there's a huge argument that I can make for purely monogamous relationships, even from the guy's side. And most guys, that's just the reality that they're in, which is totally fine and totally normal and can be very healthy. So most guys have that, so they're not aware of their placement in the dating marketplace. This may have been you. So what happens when you finish a relationship, you need to become aware of this placement again because you're getting back out there. And most guys, what they do is they don't become aware of this placement fast enough, or if they are aware of it, they don't grow it fast enough. So they don't build a higher placement. So imagine if you had a ranking from 0 to 100, right? If there's 100 guys, where are you? You'd want to be around 8 to 9, right? Out of that 100 guys, not 8 as in below, but you want to be like 80 or 90. If 100 is the top guy and 0 is the lowest, you want to be 90 to 100, to be honest, right? Most guys, they come out of a relationship and they are hit with shock and they're like, I guess I'm a 30 or a 40 out of 100 guys. But that doesn't have to be true. So what you need to do is start acquiring results so that you can give yourself a new placement. Okay, I realize I'm probably a 7 out of 10. I'm going to keep working on myself and back out there. And number 4, after you acquire results, is to adjust. So you recognize your limiting habits and behaviors and reshape them to start getting better results over time. So you go out and you get a few numbers, you set up a few dates, maybe meet 1 or 2 girls, go online dating, all those things. You do that, and then what do? You recognize, oh, these are some of my limiting habits. These are some of the behaviors that are holding me back. Now I'm going to adjust them and reshape them and get better results over time. So this is how you get past a breakup. It's a very simple process. I've used this multiple times in my own life. What I do is, 1, I stop fighting the negativity and I accept it, and then I take action, which is step number 2. I take action within that space of negativity. So I don't feel good, but I don't tell myself because I don't feel good something's wrong. Instead, I take action within that space. And then number 3 is I start to acquire new connections and meet more women while I'm taking the action. So I don't just take action and go out for no reason, but I set up dates, I make plans with women. And then number 4 is I measure these results and where I'm at in the dating marketplace, and then I make adjustments over time and I grow from there. 2 things. If you like this and you're learning from it, what you can do is press the subscribe button so you can invest in yourself and you can grow from these trainings, and you can see when I'm uploading more training if you press the notification bell so that you can use it and grow in your life. And then number 2, if you really want to grow and you want to take your dating results to the next level and you're able to invest in yourself, check out our consulting program. You can either book a call with me that's half an hour, and we'll see if you'd be a good fit to work with me for a year to get you incredible results and a massive life transformation in how you interact with women. We get your results within the first 90 days, and then we follow up with the consulting for an entire year. Literally, it's insanity. And you're part of this amazing tribe of high-performing, action-taking men that I personally put together, guys who have invested in this program that are all very successful entrepreneurs, career guys, business owners who are really crushing it in life and growing together. You can do that, or you can just watch a training from me that's down below as well. It's my 4-step system, which breaks down how I get results for people and how I get results in my own dating life by the 4 steps that I've used that have come out after over years and years and thousands of interactions of testing from myself and my clients. I give you the system in this training video, and then you have the option to book a call with me if you feel like it may be a good fit. Okay, I'll see you on the next training. It's been great talking to you here. Have a blessed, amazing day and keep crushing it. And if you just got out of a relationship, best of luck to you. It's time to start taking some action.